Welcome back, everybody. This is Lavalier. We're here in beautiful Holcomb Valley of Big Bear. Brought my family to come out here and play in the snow. One of the few places we can come out here during the winter and actually get some snow since we live in SoCal. In today's episode, I want to go over probably one of the most efficient ways, I believe, to air up your tires, and that's using a CO2 tank. Right now we are deflating, getting ready to head out into the trails. When we come back, I'll show you how we accomplish that. Should be able to get all four tires here simultaneously inflated before any of these other cats out here can get theirs. We got another Rivian behind me. He's gonna be using his onboard compressor, which I do have and it works, but I believe this way is gonna be a lot faster, especially when you're dealing with outside conditions such as this. And I also got I got a Toyota Sequoia back there who's probably using handheld compressor, and along with a Lexus also with a handheld compressor. They're gonna do one tire at a time. Sorry to say that, sucks for them. I'm gonna hit up all four, get back in my car and stay warm. Let's have at it.
If you own a Rivian R1T, you know that items in the back of the bed can slide very easily. One of the best investments you can invest in is a Bedliner from EV-Base. The Bedliner is a low-density premium material that's easy to install, easy to clean, all weather protection, and best of all, it's really good at preventing your items from sliding around. EV-Base has a 1-year warranty on this Bedliner, and it ships for free worldwide. Head on over to evbase.com and use my coupon code EVLANDER for additional discount.
All right, to get started on your CO tank build, we're gonna go over everything you need here to get that started. Everything you see here on this table and that you'll need to build this tank, you'll find a link in the description down below. So we'll start off with the meat of the potato. This is the 10-pound tank that I procured. This is a CO2 tank. Keep in mind when you're shopping, you can go smaller or bigger. Just find one that fits your size. You can purchase at different sources. You don't have to go through Amazon. You can also go through your local welding store and see what they have on there. I believe also they may have some exchange programs. You turn in one tank, you pick up another one that's filled. This one I bought personally, something that I prefer to have, just my own tank. I don't want to share with anybody else. It would just give you a sense of security knowing the history of the tank. There's a few things you'd like to know about tank. One is its empty weight and its full weight. This one I have it recorded at 16.3 pounds empty. So that means when you measure the tank, you'll know how much air you still have in it. Even though we're going to have a gauge on this tank, it doesn't accurately tell you how much air is still in there. The ambient temperature can also widely affect how much pressure is in there. Between a hot day and a cold day, with the same volume of air, the pressure will be different. So you'll want to weigh this tank empty without any additional hardware so you know exactly how much air you have in it. I also took the time to weigh the tank fully aired up, and it comes out to about 25 pounds. So anywhere between 25 to 16.3 pounds, you'll still have some air in it. Now, this tank came with a handle, which I'll show you how to install soon. It has a dual purpose. It helps protect the nozzle, and it also helps with carrying it, makes it easier. Now, the other item you need is a regulator. This regulator is set from factory at 150 PSI. Some regulators can be purchased online, which are adjustable, but I got this fixed one. This is perfect for airing up tires. Now all we need to do is get the air from the tank to the tires. And so you'll need to get a high pressure hose, preferably one that has a rating that can exceed of the regulator. Next item would be a handheld inflator. This particular one's analog. It measures both in PSI and bar. You can also get a digital one. These pretty much act the same way. I prefer analog because it's ready to use. You don't have to worry about battery. I also installed these couplers that lock onto the valve stem. These ensure a good positive lock when you have it installed, and you don't have to worry about air leaking out if there's some awkwardness. Or another option you can do is get a 4-tire inflator. Now, essentially, this is a whole system that hooks up to your air tank. The other sides hook up to all of your tires, and you can simultaneously inflate your tires at the same time to the same pressure. All right, now that we've gone through everything we need, let's go ahead and begin the setup process. Let me clear the table here, make some room. Now we got the tools that we're going to need. We have an 8mm Allen. This will be for installing the handle or the guard. And we're going to go ahead and use a open-end wrench to install that regulator. Okay, so I'll put this on its side to make it easier. We'll grab the regulator Now, don't forget this washer. This is going to help keep it airtight. It's a nylon washer, sits in within the area, or rather it sits here in the outlet of the nozzle as we install it. So we'll go ahead and put that washer in place, and we'll just tighten it by hand. Make sure you have the orientation that you want it in. There we go. Now you keep in mind you can have this rotated any which way that you would like. I like to keep an eye on the gauge so I can see how much pressure I have in there. This will be the coupler so we can attach the hose to. I'll go ahead and stand this up so we can get this tightened, get a little leverage. Now you can use this adjustable wrench here, or you can use a fixed wrench. I don't have a fixed wrench that fits the size, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this adjustable. Get that nice and snug. It's going to want to rotate on you, so you got to kind of hold it. Doesn't have to be too tight, just a good snug on there. All right, so the next thing we're going to go ahead and install is the handle. And the handle is kind of nice, just a little two-piece design with 2 Allen screws in it. Also keep in mind the orientation you would want this on. So let's see, I'm going to have it set up in the vehicle this way. Hold it like so. This is for the clamp. Get your 8mm Allen. Start on one side, move over to the next, and kind of evenly tighten it down. Just keep an eye on the spacing. Make sure they're even on both sides. And just keep working them in. Make sure everything's seated. Now we can stand it. Well, there you have it. Simple process, very easy to install. Now just keep in mind, when you take your tank to the welding shop to have it refilled, they're probably going to ask you to take the regulator and handle off. So just do that beforehand. Also keep in mind the size of the tank, where you plan on mounting it. I have a pretty good location I want to mount it, and I'll show you that here pretty soon. But first, we got to personalize the tank with some stickers. Now I can start growing in my sticker collection. I think that's pretty neat. Most of these are either sponsors, such as Megawatt, Thermofab, or just other products that I've purchased before in the past and like them really a lot, and I use them on my truck. And we'll try to cover a lot of those in future videos. All right, so now that this tank is ready to go, let's go ahead and crank her open. Now keep in mind, because you have this quick release here, there's no air going to come out until you have a chuck in there. We don't have anything in there. And let's see, pressure is up to 800. So on a warm day, that actually might reach 1,000, but 800 is pretty good. That regulator is going to regulate down to about 150. I'll be able to inflate 4 tires simultaneously, multiple tires. I can probably get, I don't know, 20, 25 tires in this one tank. I can also seat tires if they come off the bead. I've had that happen to me on the trail once before. I'll check that clip out in a second. I got my mountain bike and get that inflated. Now, why would I want to use a tank over using what came in the vehicle, such as the built-in compressor, my Rivian R1T, or maybe an aftermarket compressor? Well, I mean, the compressors are nice. They just take a little time. I found that it takes about, I don't know, anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes per tire, depending on the size of the tire and how low you've deflated it down to, and how high you want to get inflated. I usually am around between 15 and 20 psi when I'm off-roading, and then when I'm on the streets, it's up to 50. So that's quite a bit of psi to throw in those tires, and that's 4 of them. So that takes some time. I've done this in the night. I've done this in the cold, summer, hot, rain. I'm about to go do it in the snow. So I kind of don't want to be out there in the elements waiting for 30 minutes to inflate these tires when I can get it done in less than, I don't know, 2, 3. We're about to find out. Another advantage is that it's a little bit more mobile. I can be in situations where I can't quite reach using the compressor that I have built into the tank. Just keep in mind, when you store this in your rig, you want it in a secure location. The last thing you want is for something to hit it, break off the valve, and you have all this energy, all this pressure, pretty much becomes a torpedo out in the middle of nowhere. So I have a pretty good location that I want to install this on my Rivian RNT. Just check to see what best fits you. All right, so now this is all set. Let's go ahead and get out there and use it. And just to show you how I'm mounting it, I got this tank mount and I mount it to the ProSpeed bed rack. So this is not going to be the final version or how I'm going to finally do it. This rack's going to change a little bit because it's the prototype. I'm not going to change too dramatically. But essentially this is up out of the way. I don't have to keep it in here. It's up here where I can easily get access to it. And I can route the cables down along the line to each of the 4 tires and get the tires inflated and actually deflated. So it's kind of nice. You're actually required to open the tonneau cover in order to open this up, so that'll help with theft prevention. And it's under pretty solid. You can't just grab it and pull on it. So I think that's pretty safe, and we'll roll out to the mountains over here and check to see how this is going to perform. All right, so we kind of had a mishap on our Big Bear trip, in a sense where I wasn't using the CO2 tank correctly. My bad. So I thought you can actually use a CO2 tank on its side, but it uses, what they fill it in with is not pure air, it's liquid CO2. So if you have it on the side, all that liquid's going to come out. And it almost felt like liquid nitrogen. Everything was freezing over, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was like last minute that I finally figured out that I had to put the CO2 tank on the top. It was getting late and cold, so we just kind of just wrapped it up and left to go home. But what I want to do right now is use this opportunity to go ahead and show you the comparison between an onboard compressor and a CO2 tank. Which one's more convenient, which one's faster. So we're out here in Tribuco Canyon. There's a couple of cars going to pass by. We're just going to ignore them. We're just going to get through this. Khalil's going to set up the onboard compressor. I'm going to set up the CO2 tank. And we're going to kind of semi-time ourselves, not really a race, but kind of just figure out how we're going to do this. So what we've done is we've aired down all 4 tires to about 22, 23 PSI, try to get as close as we can. Actually 5 tires. So he's going to run the onboard compressor on the spare tire, just 1 tire. And I'm going to do it on all 4 tires at the same time, because that's the advantage of the CO2 tank. And so we want to see how long it's going to take and how convenient it is to fill up the tires. My goal is to just get to the end of the trail, fill the tires, get back in the car, and go. I don't want to waste a whole half hour to maybe 40 minutes. Is usually what it takes to fill up the tires. Now, of course, when you're with other people, you kind of have to wait on them, but you can easily just go and help them out and get their tires filled up, right? All right, so I'm going to set my timer here. Okay, cool. So I reset the stopwatch. So I got everything kind of set up here, just the cables, not the tank. So he's going to exercise undoing the cables, hooking up to the compressor, hooking the tire, and putting the settings on there and starting it. I have to go and set up all the cables for all the tires, set up the CO2 tank, and get that started. So it's a little bit more setup time on my side, but I think at the end, it's going to overall work out. There's a lot of flies here, so we're going to have to deal with it, Mijo. Sorry. Okay, so you ready? You going to do this? Let me turn my camera so I can record this. And then here's a stopwatch. And then off we go. All right. Let me know if you need help, but you're kind of on your own, buddy. Set this side over here. Now, keep in mind, this is Khalil's first time going through this, but we kind of had a run-through practice with this, so he should be okay. And Laura's coming by. There was a Cybertruck here earlier. I wonder if we get a chance to talk to him later. So let's see here. There's the one I'm looking for. So make sure that's on there nice and tight. We'll kind of semi-run these to the tires. Put the short one here. Long one over here. And looks like we're going to have to set this up here. No problem. There we go. And we'll go run and set this side real quick.
Like this, right?
Yeah, just push in, and as long as it snaps in, you're fine. It won't leak out. There you go. That'll be that for that guy. This guy here. We'll run this on top, and probably push it through here. Like this.
That'd be easier. Oh man, it's going already. Nice. All right, so now I got a boogie. A little more. I will just go all the way just in case it falls. Okay. Pull the pin. Yep. So we got the compressor. Got that in there. Get that in there. Cool. So that's open. We'll close that. Then we'll go put these on these tires here. That's one. That's two. The valve is open, so we need to turn off the valve. That's a deflate valve. Get in there. Cool. And will it reach? Yes, it'll reach. Okay, so all 4 tires are hooked up. So crank open this bad boy. So now it's 800 PSI, pretty close to it. I probably lost a lot of fluid in the last trip, so that means I just need to go back and refill it again. So we got the tire gauge here, we'll turn it on. So it's reading a combination of 16 PSI between all 4 tires. And let's put some air in it. So our goal is to get to 50. So we'll see how long it takes to get to 50. And, oh, we're at 19. All right. So now we're waiting to see who's going to finish first. I'm at 25. Started off at 15. So the reason why I went from 23 down to 15 because it's got to take into account the expansion of the hose. So once I got all 4 tires hooked up together with it, and the hose has a slight expansion, especially with the air that's already in there, that gets compressed as well. So it equalized at 16 PSI or outside. So I kind of started a little lower, no big deal. So now we got to get the line and the tires all up to the 50 PSI that I need. And we're at 32, okay. So we're getting there. So it looks like it's probably gonna be about the same as 1 tire fill up. And so we're waiting for the onboard compressor to get up to a certain PSI before it shuts off, checks the pressure. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I missed it. I didn't get to see what pressure is at. Oh, look, I'm at 36 now. Okay, come on, let's do this. Look at the tank, it's already kind of frosting over, building up that condensation. So when you're done, when it's done, get ready. And then when you wrap it up, then you can check what time it is on the stopwatch. But don't stop the stopwatch. $42. I'm kind of curious what's yours at because it's not saying, it just says on. So you put it to 50 and you set on, right? Huh. Oh, you're at 50. You're done. I'm at 45. Here, go ahead, jump in. So push and pull. There you go. And remember, you need to roll it up as well. It's cold.
That's what I'm doing here now.
There you go.
I'm taking it off. Trying to finish
47.
before.
You know, we won't count you against that. So we'll just look at the time. So at 6 minutes. 6:45 is yours. Let's see if I can get it done in that time. Oh, 50. 49. Perfect. 49.8. I'm happy with that. Let's get that 50. I'm good with that one. Okay. So I'm going to shut off the valve here. Yeah, that's already shut off. So I'll start pulling these out. Let's see here.
Wrapping it up, and I'm done.
Nice.
Partially done.
Excuse me. So Kalal, since it took you 6 minutes, 45 seconds, times that by 4 for each tire, how long would it take you to fill up all 4?
6 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Let's get this one here.
That'd approximately take me 24 minutes. 25.
25 minutes to fill up all 4. Or I'm trying to get this done in under 8 minutes.
Maybe even.
We're not going to count the valve stem covers. Doesn't take much time to do that one. Let me turn off my meter. I think it's got an auto shut off, but oh yeah, it has to because there's only one button. It's on.
It could maybe be
All right, so check my time on the watch. Check my time on the watch.
8 minutes and 47 seconds.
Okay, so I took a little too long, but I believe I can get it done in 8 minutes, but
That's very impressive.
9 minutes, not bad.
This is very impressive compared to the.
A lot of air in there. Cool.
Very impressive compared to
The onboard
28
compressor,
minutes.
right? Cool. So then the last thing we would want to do, pack the hoses up, and then we've got the compressors off, throw it in the truck, and head off back home, right?
Yep.
Cool. So, so what we learned today,
It's very
9
cool.
minutes or so to do all 4 tires. I probably could have done it faster. Maybe if you had helped me with the tires, doing installation, we could probably cut it down in time because there was some setup time on that one. Also, what else?
It's very cold.
Yeah, it can get cold, so you got to be careful with that. Make sure you just take precaution on where you set the compressor down, set it on the floor or something like that. Don't let the the tank. Don't let the tank lie on its side because you're going to evacuate all the fluid in there. You'd still be airing up the second tire, even during this conversation. So it definitely works out better. I didn't understand that the trail's closed, unfortunately, but we were able to go out there and get ready. Okay, so check out this hose kit. So there's a couple of different companies you can get. This is this one, Vorabor, almost French, I guess. I don't know. So it didn't come with this hose. I opted for this hose here. So this way I can get to the compressor itself. But I'm not liking it right now. It's already gotten some rust. Oh no, it's just some dirt and whatnot. But this allows me to connect the I guess what would you call this? The gauge or distribution block, you know. The nice thing about this actually, it's got a deflator. So check this out. So if I have all the tires connected, the compressor turned off, right? Then I can let all the air out of the tires at the same time. So instead of using those automatic tire deflators I have, I can let them all out at the same time, and it'll equalize. All tires will be at the same pressure. So if we go in a car and drive right now, because I use this setup and I inflate it all at the same time, they should all come out to the exact same pressure. Now, the compressor, the onboard compressor, the Rivian, is supposed to be able to do that already. This is usually off by 1 or 2 psi, right? So I may be off by 1 or 2 psi. We can check that on the way out. Won't know until we get the car rolling. So that's extra, so I can put the distribution block on there and kind of fiddle around with it. The hoses are really good. They're super robust. I think they take up to like 500 psi or something silly like that.
300.
Oh, 300 psi. So that's pretty good. It had some liquid CO2 in it, so it kind of had that durability test already. Anyway, so we're going to wrap this up, get this cleaned up, get back on the road, and that'll end this session here. Thanks for your help, bud. That was fun.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave any comments down below. Until next time, guys.